Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Michael Patmos. It is June the 8th, 2026, and I'm going to turn my focus today onto a little different aspect of the anti vax movement. As those of you who follow me know, I've spent most of my time evaluating the credentials and background of anti vax physicians. Well, I am a physician. I have hired physicians and recruited doctors and been in roles where my job was to supervise physician performance and so forth. So I am very attuned to working with other doctors and evaluating other doctors' their credentials and so forth. Well, it's been brought up, many times that some of the biggest names in the anti-vax world are not doctors. I focused on, the physicians as the most important influencers because they're the ones with the MD degree. But truth be told, there are others who are very influential in the anti-vax space that also deserve some scrutiny. So what I did today and what's down below is a deep dive on a fellow by the name of Bigtree. Bigtree is a major anti-vax influencer. In fact, he's in Europe apparently right now addressing European legislators and promoting his anti-vax stuff, and hasn't apparently he didn't get a very warm welcome in France or Italy. In any case, here's what you need to know about Bigtree. So First of all, who is he? Well, he's a fellow who was born in Boulder, Colorado. His father was a minister, so obviously he didn't grow up as a super wealthy kid. He grew up in Boulder, graduated high school, and then went to college and majored in film. So he's got a degree in film production. After that, he went, I presume, to Hollywood, and he got a job somewhere along the line working on the Dr. Phil show, where he was producing some of the segments for the Dr. Phil show. For those of you who, being a producer sounds like a big deal, I got news for you. Everybody in Los Angeles is a producer. If you talk to I lived in Los Angeles for a while. You talk to anybody there, say, "What do you do?" "I'm a producer." Everybody's a producer in LA. And most producers in LA don't make diddly squat. A producer of a show like Dr. Phil might make a six-figure annual income. So he did that for a while. Then he got a gig doing some producing for a show called The Doctors. I never saw that show. I've never seen Dr. Phil. I don't know what these shows are, but he was basically producing a weekly program called The Doctors. He was not apparently he was one of many producers, and he wasn't a major one, but he produced some of those programs. Then he met Andrew Wakefield, the physician from England who wrote the paper alleging that autism was caused by vaccines. He was found to have committed fraud in the UK. He was convicted of fraud for this paper and thrown out of England. He's been in the United States for the last 20 years or more promoting his false autism link. Well, somehow Bigtree got hooked up with Wakefield, and maybe he drank the Kool-Aid, I don't know, but he then made a film called Vaxxed, which went around the world and been on TV and played in lots of theaters. And just in box office revenue, Vaxxed brought in $1.16 million, but on other revenue streams related to it, nobody knows. There's surely many millions more. Anyhow, Vaxxed was a conspiracy documentary that alleged that the COVID vaccine was a conspiracy and so forth. It's all craziness. And, he made a documentary, but it was very successful. And the important thing was that it launched Bigtree. It got him a big name. He got a lot of recognition over this film. Suddenly, everybody in that area knew who he was. He then launched a company called ICANN. That's the Informed Consent Action Network, and he launched that's a 501c nonprofit. He draws a salary of like $235,000 a year, but he owns the nonprofit, and it is raking in tens of millions of dollars a year now. And since it's a private organization, we don't know exactly what kind of compensation he's getting or what he might be getting. Obviously, he's getting a lot of his expenses covered. So he's doing pretty well with this ICANN company. That then led to a media platform of his own called High Wire, which is, I guess, I've never seen it, but I suppose it's like a cable TV show, and it runs on, I don't know, YouTube or Netflix. I'm not sure. I don't understand all that stuff. But he's basically got a TV show where he hosts um, guests and they talk about stuff. And he's got a lot of sponsors. Some of the corporate sponsors for ICANN are, major investment companies like Vanguard and Fidelity. They're investing in this ICANN. It's a nonprofit. Sounds like a good thing, and so it's taking. That's why he's taking in tens of millions of dollars a year from contributors to his nonprofit organization. With Highwire, he's collecting revenue. Who knows how much from various advertisers, and that then led to him getting a gig with Robert Kennedy as Robert Kennedy's publicist or campaign manager or something. So he was very involved with producing campaign materials for Kennedy, which brought him, I think, a 1-year contract. Doing that was worth 350,000. So he's making two something from ICANN and then another 350 from Kennedy. You can see he's starting to rake in some pretty big bucks. Well, now he's got a new film out called Inconvenient Study, and it's touting a study that was never published, a garbage study. It could never be published because it was so poorly done. And, it's from whole host of, see Debunk the Funk with Dr. Wilson, and you'll get a thorough rundown on what's wrong with the study that Bigtree is going all over the world touting as showing that vaccines are bad, that unvaccinated people are healthier than vaccinated people, and so forth. In any case, what's very clear now is that this is a really great way to make money. If you're looking for a revenue enhancing career, the anti-vax business is really lucrative. Del Bigtree has gone from basically making $100,000 a year as a small-time producer to making probably millions of dollars a year. Nobody exactly knows because it's all private information. So you can just estimate what he's making and what his net worth is. Some estimates put his net worth at between $5 and $20 million. I mean, I have no idea, but I mean, you got a guy with who's got working with Kennedy. He's got a TV show. He's got, which is widely seen. He's got a nonprofit organization that's pulling in tens of millions a year. He's on TV all the time. He's flying all around the world. He's obviously making good money. The point of all this is a moneymaker. This is how you make money in the anti-vax industry. You don't have to be an anti-vaxxer. You don't have to believe it. You just have to package it well and sell it well. And people who are really good at media and good at production and good at television and film and making documentaries and making podcasts. I have no skill in that at all, as you can obviously see. I'm a total amateur at this. I just do my content, but I don't know how to make it look slick the way these people do. And, he's making a boatload of money doing this. And I think consumers need to know that. They need to know who he is. He has no background in science, no background in biology, medicine, health, nothing. He knows nothing about this, but yet he's out there influencing the world and making a boatload of money in the process. I thought you needed to know this.